flowers. There she is. Lovely. Oh man, my goodness. Some of my favorite things went into this. Let's just walk through it real quick. There are 7 pages for the collage pack for this, and they are all just delicious from my 1940, where is it? I thought I had everything together. Here we go. From this little book, from 1947, right? I don't know, something like that. So anyway, just page after page of delicious flowers that you can use for so many things. And then 2 pages of from this book. This is the Woman's Home Companion Garden book from 1947. I know that one. And those 2 pages are, let's see, well, they're in pieces because I used most of them, but they're the ones that had the plate drawings of florals on them, and they went down here into the corners, and then just some writing and some graphs on planting and how to cut flowers, and I thought that was really appropriate for, so 2 pages of that. And then I used a bunch of random bits and pieces. This is an old vintage wallpaper piece. All of these pieces are from previous collage packs, vintage wallpaper pieces. This is actually a scrapbook paper, but just scraps that I had in my scrap bucket that kind of worked and made me feel happy, and I put them down and then cut the flowers out and then used the leaves in a lot of the flowers, and then even in this one there's a couple of those sticking out, and then this is from the wallpaper, so kind of a combination of everything. I did do a whitewash over the base once I got, because I worked with a couple stencils. I used the Damask Duo, and I started out spraying, I should be careful, spraying with my sprays, which started to work okay, but this, I'm at the bottom of the tub for that, and so I need to redo it and remake some new spray, but that would have worked really well, so I opted to just go with the stenciling, and I worked with, I didn't use these, did I? No. I did the numbers and the Damask Duo for the backgrounds, just to kind of tone it down. I did a whitewash, and then I did umber, and then I did more white, just to give it that interest, to kind of cover up and kind of disguise some of that. And you can see bits and pieces of it coming through. All of that plays a factor in how everything looks. So then I put the flowers down, and I did paint in a couple of extra leaves and used my charcoal pencil, and ta-da! It is awesome. And I love it, love it. I'm going to paint the sides and the back black. Alright, so there is Sacred in the Ordinary. I have been reading through, okay, so this is November, what was I reading? November 9th or 8th or something like that. Anyway, you can see I took notes because it was good. It was exactly, I love it when that happens when you're reading and it's exactly what you need to hear. But this is the Simple Abundance Daybook of Comfort and Joy. Sarah, I don't know how you say her last name, Ben Brethneck, whatever. Anyway, I've had this for years, and I just continue to reread it, and it's just awesome. It's perfect for inspiring creativity and everything. But in this yesterday or the day before, or whatever day it was, she was talking about, I'm reading, and it was just like Boom! I love that. But in parentheses, she writes, the sacred is everywhere. And I'm like, the sacred is everywhere. And so then my mind goes into, okay, what does sacred mean? And so, of course, I looked up sacred, and then, I kind of digress, because then it gives you other words, and I look up all of those, and I look up all of those. But sacred means devoted or dedicated to a purpose, or to a higher calling, or to the divine. And then the synonyms are reverent and holy, and I look up holy, and it's pure qualities. And I just kept kind of going back over and over that sacred is everywhere. And then I read on, and it talks about welcoming a new day and how we reconcile with ourselves and with each others, and every new day brings the opportunity for the sacred. And you don't use sacred in that way. I kept like, sacred. And then she writes, it matters how we braid her hair, how we pack his lunch, send them on their way, greet their return, make suggestions, change the contract, return the telephone call, pass the pasta, pour the wine, listen to a friend, lift a burden, share a secret, visit him in a nursing home, check for the monsters under the bed. And I'm like, oh. And she writes that the wonderful thing about, because she's talking about of saints, the wonderful thing about saints is that they were human, that they struggled, that they got hungry, that they scolded God, that they were egotistical, testy, all and on and on and on. And yet they were still called saints, because they valued the everyday moments of their actions. That they, at the core of who they were, was their kindness and their generosity. And that when you get up in the middle of the night and you don't want to, and you take care of somebody, or you take the extra time to visit with somebody, or you hug somebody, or all of those things become sacred. Those are the things that people remember, and that they take with them into their story, and then they are able to take the kindness and the grace and give it away. And so there is sacred in the ordinary moments of our lives. And I wanted to remind you that all the things that you do, the little tiny things of kindness and love and giving, and the note cards to me, and the kind words to me, and all of those things, and what you do for your kids or your co-workers, or maybe people who don't even know that you've done something. You've left a note on a neighbor's door that says, "You are loved." Those things are sacred. Those are divine. Those will be used from above and will inspire others. So you have no idea all of your little things that you do on a regular basis are so incredibly important. When we come from a pure heart and we do them without expectation, they make the difference. They are the difference. In a world that can be harsh and cold, those are the things that will change our communities, our nation, the small, ordinary acts that become sacred. All right, my friends, I hope your Sunday is awesome. And I hope that you take into account all of the wonderful things that you do every day to inspire, and that you take a look at what other people do to inspire you as well. Have a wonderful Sunday, and always, always know that you are loved.